Here. Good evening. I'd like to welcome everybody to the March 8th River Falls City Council meeting. First thing we'll do is stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, Christy, can I roll call, please?
Bierstead.
Here.
Carroll.
Here.
Downing.
Here.
Morset.
Here.
Miller.
Here.
Odine.
Here.
Plunkett.
Here.
Next up, approval of the minutes from the February 22nd regular meeting, workshop, and closed session minutes.
I move approval. Second.
First and second on the minutes. Any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Next, approval of the bills with Mr. Carroll.
I motion for the payment of bills in the amount of $1,798,084.93, subject to comptroller.
Second.
First and second, any questions or comments on the bills? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, next moving to public comments. If there's anybody in the audience have something they'd like to talk about, now would be the time. Oh, go ahead.
I just wanted to take a minute to remind everyone that today is the International Women's Day 2022. The theme this year is Gender Equality Today for a Sustainable Tomorrow. So just wanted to thank all the women in my life and the women on council, thanks Diane, for being strong, wonderful women, and wanted to take a moment just to recognize that.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor?
Yep.
I'm working towards forming a committee for what is called Bee City USA. Ultimately, it is a resolution that supports pollinators and bees. Bee City USA affiliates make commitments to conserve native pollinators laid out in a resolution adopted by the local city council. In doing this, city staff and community members work together to carry out these commitments and make their city a better place for pollinators. If you are a community member who has some experience with this type of work and would like to be on this committee, please contact me through my email, sdowning@rfcity.org. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Anybody else in the audience have public comments or anything? No? Okay. Next, we're going to have a presentation by Russ Korpela, who is our Chamber of Commerce Director. And he'll give us a little presentation on all the events coming up.
You can, you are good. Just don't take mine away, please.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and City Council. My name is, as Mayor Tolan said, is Russ Korpela. I live at 205 South Grant Street in Ellsworth, Wisconsin, and I currently serve as the Executive Director of the River Falls Chamber of Commerce. Today, I'm here for the third time in my tenure here in River Falls to talk about our annual request for city support for the community events coming up in 2022. This fall, the Chamber of Commerce wrote a grant to the Department of Tourism successfully to promote the development of a digital passport to encourage users to explore craft beverage producers and especially retail stores throughout River Falls. The $25,000 grant allowed the Chamber to leverage $10,000 in local resources to conduct a state-of-the-art digital marketing campaign. The campaign generated over 1.6 million consumer impressions, inviting residents of the Twin Cities area primarily to River Falls. Why is that relevant for tonight when we're talking about community events? Is that we wrote a second grant application to the same pool of money to fund a similar campaign to reboot Bluegrass Bourbon and Brews, better known as Bluegrass Fest. And we successfully received a $25,000 grant from the state of Wisconsin through the Department of Tourism for that effort. As a result, the festival is scheduled for April 22nd and 23rd, which is a little later than what it used to be pre-COVID in 18 and 19. You may recall that this festival got plagued by snowstorms. And our hope is by being a little later in April, we minimize the possibility, although not eliminate, of having a snowstorm. We will have 25 bands across 9 venues, and our major reboot of this event is made possible by the existence of the Tattersall facility, which now gives us a large enough room to host national acts. The grant has allowed us to double our music budget and have national acts, including them Cooley Boys, the Dead Horses, and Pert Near Sandstone, and increase our marketing budget by 7-fold. It's easy to increase a marketing budget by 7-fold when you only spent $3,500 before, and now we'll be able to spend about $27,000 on that same kind of digital marketing campaign that we did for the fall digital passport. By digital marketing, I do mean some social media. There certainly will be Facebook posts and Instagram posts, but it goes much beyond that. If any of you have shopped on Amazon and looked at a product, didn't buy it, and then like within seconds, ads were being delivered to your Facebook feed for that same product, we'll have that same kind of marketing. If you go to the Bluegrass website and get all the way to the ticket page and don't buy tickets, we will start to remind you through various forms of advertising on your various personal devices how much fun you're potentially missing if you don't buy tickets. If you go to any one of 25 different live music events across the Twin Cities, your phone knows that. If your phone knows it, we know it, and we'll start delivering music ads to you about how much fun Bluegrass Fest will be. Big data also knows a lot about your viewing habits, and because many of us are using Roku or other streaming devices to watch our TV, it is now possible for us to deliver local TV ads directly to your household, where you might be watching the same channel as your neighbor, and based on your shopping habits, you'll get one ad and your neighbor will get a different ad because they have different shopping habits. So we will be able to deliver TV ads to people we know are interested in craft beverages or bluegrass music. So we're really excited about the potential of this. We hope to attract 750 bluegrass enthusiasts to River Falls. In the last 2 weeks with our initial lineup posts, we've already sold 125 tickets. The digital marketing campaign launched today as we celebrated the release of our schedule and venue lineup. And so there were a lot of people sitting on the fence waiting to see what bands played at what day. So we're really excited about that. This is a 2-year grant. And so we expect to write a year 2 grant for the 23 event. Moving on to River Falls Days, this year's event will look very similar to last year's, with the exception of going back to a traditional live parade. Last year's reverse parade, after considerable online criticism, actually turned out to be much more popular than people expected. And so it was very popular with some businesses and nonprofits who benefited from having the opportunity to talk one-on-one with a more lengthy conversation during that event, rather than trying to keep up with their truck throwing candy out. And so our goal this year is to have, of course, the live parade as traditional, but then have a kind of a Meet River Falls kind of expo for those businesses and nonprofits that want that kind of format. It also gives them the opportunity to be part of both. We'll probably do the live parade as usual on Friday night and do the Meet River Falls Expo on Saturday afternoon. But otherwise, there will be 3 nights of music starting with Thursday night. We have a Journey tribute band coming on Thursday night, Hitchville, which was the very popular country band that we had coming on Friday night, and then a classic rock band on Saturday night. We'll continue to have a early closing of the festival area at 10:30 or 10 o'clock. That was very successful last year. Working with the police department, it reduced our security concerns, and it also provided a 10:30 or so late night surge for the brick and mortar bars and restaurants downtown that they very much appreciated. Bacon Bash will receive a similar reboot this year to Bluegrass Bourbon and Brews, and we anticipate writing a special event grant for that to be used in 2023 and then in 24. This year, our goal is to get our food truck numbers back up to pre-COVID numbers, and also find a way to cook large amounts of strips of bacon so we can do bacon flights. So for like $10, you'll get 6 slices of bacon. One will be cherrywood, applewood, pepper, all the different kinds of bacon you can have. There's a certain amount of logistical working through all that, but that is one of our primary goals. Another idea we are exploring is hosting a smoker show where people can learn about and see many brands of different types of pellet smokers and grills, and just kind of capitalize on the very big popularity of that industry. Two other changes for that event that you will notice is has traditionally been a Saturday, Sunday event. We have had a difficult time getting people to come to the fest area during a Packer game. And a couple of years in a row, we were plagued by it's not only the Packer game, but it was the Packer Viking game. Now that Aaron Rodgers will be with us for another couple of years, that remains a concern for us. So we switched it to a Friday night, Saturday format to try to minimize that conflict with the NFL. We're also going one weekend later in September. I don't know if it's climate change or just pure coincidence, but the last couple of years we've been battling 85 and 90-degree weather, which is not ideal for a fall event. It's not even ideal for a summer event. And so we're hoping one weekend later in September. Doesn't guarantee cooler weather, but we sure would love a 65 or 70-degree day instead of 80 and 90. Lastly, the Chamber is partnering with the Community Art Space to bring two larger midweek summer concert series performances featuring bands that would not be, could not be accommodated by the size of the crowd they should draw in the Veterans Park bandshell area. They approached us and we agreed that it was a great way for us to meet one of our first efforts to build midweek stays in the hotels here in River Falls. One of the things that we have with all of our special events is the hotel occupancy rate in River Falls is really quite good during the weekends. Where we have a lot of room for capacity is midweek stays. So we're going to really focus on building events and inviting people to River Falls to enjoy those midweek stays. And this is one baby step towards that. We've worked with Community Art Space on other projects, including the art show that's a couple weeks before Bacon Bash, and we think it will be a great partnership, very family friendly, no cover charge, no alcohol, and highlight some local food trucks. So that's just a high level kind of picture of what we're looking at in 2022. We're very excited to have COVID uncertainty behind us, and as always, we appreciate the many years of support of the city to make these events possible. So with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions that anybody might have. Yes, sir.
I just wanted to thank you for adjusting the schedule for the Bluegrass event and other events so they allow people who live here to be able to get to these so the weather doesn't impact them from enjoying these events that they want to go to, and the timing is not a factor. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, ma'am.
Just checking, we're still doing fireworks on Thursday, right, for River Falls Days?
The last few years, fireworks have been on Sunday.
Oh, okay, sorry, but yes, still doing fireworks.
Yep.
My kids will be devastated if not. The other thing is, have we thought about, I think this was a COVID related situation, but maybe it was a budgetary related situation for the amphitheater on the university campus. They stopped doing Tuesdays in the park with the bands, and that was really a great family friendly event. Is there a way for us to work with the university so that we could have some more midweek larger things? If they're not willing to do it, could we look at potentially helping to pay for some of that?
Yeah, I have not talked to the university. I'm sure it was COVID related. The university was very strident in their COVID efforts and was a leader in our community because of that. I'm hoping that those will come back. I think we can also look forward to lots of new live music by some of the venues that are being created. I know Tattersall built a very impressive amphitheater for their having live music as well. I can look into that for you, Counselor, and get back to you.
Anybody else got anything? No? Thanks, Russ.
Great. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Okay, so I'm gonna close the council hearing and open up a public hearing on ordinance number 2022-01. This is ordinance amending the traffic control map, which we would be adding a stop sign on Hamilton Drive at Washington Street and expanding Westside Elementary School zone down to 296 Sylla Street. Is there anybody in the audience has anything they'd like to say about this? Okay, I'll close the public hearing and reopen up the council hearing, and I will take a motion on this.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion, we approve ordinance 2022-01.
Second.
First and a second, questions, comments? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. There again, I will close the council hearing and open up the public hearing on ordinance number 2022-02. This is ordinance amending official parking control map, creating a no parking zone at 403 North A Street. Is there anybody in the audience has anything they'd like to say about this? Close the public hearing and we open up the council hearing, and I will take a motion on this.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we adopt ordinance 2022-02.
Second.
Okay, first and second, questions or comments? Yep.
What was the reasoning for this one? I missed that here somewhere.
There was a car that was in the way and got hit by
Yeah,
a bus,
it wasn't enough.
trying to make the curve.
Okay, so that'll clear up that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, first and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, next move on to consent agenda. First one is a resolution approving request for city support for the River Falls Area Chamber of Commerce and Tourism Bureau's 2022 events. Next one is a resolution approving an amendment to the River Falls Baseball Council lease agreement. Does anybody want to pull anything? Otherwise, I'll take a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion, we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
First and second, questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, next is a resolution approving budget adjustments. This would amend the 2021 budget for certain special revenue funds and functional levels within the general fund. I'll take a motion on that.
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve the ordinances and resolutions, the resolution approving budget adjustments, sorry.
Second.
Okay, first, second, questions or comments? Okay, Christie, can we get a roll call on this?
Yes. We'll start with Alderperson Plunkett,
Aye.
Odine,
Aye.
Carroll,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Morissette,
Aye.
Downing,
Aye.
Fierstead.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, move on to the administrator's report. Anybody have any questions for Scott?
Couple quick updates. Spring election, in-person absentee voting in the clerk's office is March 22nd to April 1st. Voters can an in-person absentee vote in the city clerk's office. That's here at City Hall, 222 Lewis Street. Weekdays 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. So those hours vary slightly from our regular office hours, just so that we have enough time to open and close those times. Contests on the ballot include the Court of Appeals, Circuit Court Judge, County Supervisor, Mayor, Alderperson at Large, Alderperson District 4, Municipal Judge, and the School Board. If you'd like to see who's on the ballot for each contest, find your polling location, register to vote, or request an absentee ballot. Check My Vote Wisconsin for the most up-to-date information. That's My Vote Wisconsin. Online registration for classes, camps, lessons begins March 14th at 8 a.m. Online registration is available on the city's webpage. In-person registration begins a couple days later, March 16th at 8 a.m. At City Hall. If you have questions, you can contact the Recreation Office directly. Their number is 715-425-0924. The library has made a modification to their program schedule that wasn't included in previously published schedules. It's Insights into the Russian Invasion of Ukraine. It's virtual only. It's Thursday, March 10th at 6:30 p.m. And there's a professor of comparative politics and international relations from University of Wisconsin-Madison. Those programs are broadcasted and recorded for later viewing on the River Falls Public Library Facebook page and the city's YouTube channel. A reminder for residents to visit the Focus River Falls website, engagerf.org. That is engage, the letters R and the letter F.org. This is an engagement site that we've set up for our comprehensive planning process. It's been up for about 1 month. We've got about 250 people actively registered. So we appreciate that people are adding on those. For example, like when we had the open house, we got 25 new registrations at that event. So as we kind of do our pop-ups and go out through the community, we hope to get a few more people registered for that. You need not register for engagerf.org to participate in the comprehensive planning process. It's just a tool for residents who'd like to do that. You don't have to participate only online in order to participate. So there's gonna be a number of events for folks that would like to do that. And then we want to congratulate 2021 Firefighter of the Year, Jason Salmon. He was selected as the 2021 Firefighter of the Year, an award that's sponsored by the Moody family. And just want to pass along congratulations from the membership and the community. He has been one of the top responders to calls. He's also the health and safety officer and has been incident commander on a number of scenes. So we appreciate his service and hope it will continue for many more years. Be happy to take any questions. Appreciate the turnout today at the State of the City address, and we will be making that. We did videotape that presentation, and that if we get a few days to kind of edit it and see what we've got, we'll get that posted on various sites for people that weren't able to attend. Appreciate the attendance by the community.
Anybody got anything for Scott? Questions? Okay, I just got a quick proclamation here. It's a proclamation honoring Tommy G. Thompson. Whereas Tommy G. Thompson, the longest serving governor, Wisconsin history, and former United States Health and Human Services Secretary under President George W. Bush, began his appointment as interim president of the University of Wisconsin system on July 1st, 2020, and will resign his post effective March 18th, 2022. And whereas upon his appointment, President Thompson initiated efforts to help the University of Wisconsin River Falls, the other UW system institutions, and the residents of communities, including River Falls, safely keep university, community, and economic life moving forward during the COVID-19 pandemic. And whereas President Thompson's commitment to the health and safety of UW River Falls Falcons helped minimize COVID-19 impacts in our community for almost 2 years. And whereas the resolve and logistical support supplied by President Thompson and his UW system administration team helped mobilize testing centers at UWRF's Hagestead Hall, as well as free community testing centers at UWRF's David Smith Stadium, Don Page Arena, and at the city's Hoffman Park Shelter, and enabled the creation of several mass vaccination clinics offered throughout the past several months by the university in partnership with local Freeman Drug Pharmacy and the Pierce County Health Departments. And whereas the pandemic response under President Thompson's leadership has regionally enabled the administration of more than 73,000 COVID-19 tests for UW River Falls employees, students, and community members, as well as nearly 3,000 doses of the COVID-19 vaccine provided on campus. Now therefore, I, Dan Tolan, Mayor of the City of River Falls, in recognition of his services as President of the as President of the University of Wisconsin system, and on behalf of the City Council, call upon the citizens of River Falls to extend their highest commendation and appreciation to Tommy G. Thompson, given under my hand and seal at the City of River Falls on the 11th day of March, 2022. Okay, next we'll move into closed session per Wisconsin State Statute 19. What?
I'm sorry, I just want to clarify that I think the notes that we gave you might not have been have the same one that's on the agenda, so we'll make sure you use the agenda one, because that's what's been publicly noticed. Do you have a copy of that?
Sorry.
Maybe just talk about this.
Oh, the closed session, I'm sorry,
just
yep.
if you'd read number 9 from the agenda copy.
Yep. Okay, now this is that small rate. Sorry. Recess into closed session per Wisconsin State Statute 19.85, I1E for the following purposes: deliberating or negotiating the purchasing of public properties, the investing of public funds, or conducting other specified public businesses. whenever competitive or bargaining reasons required a closed session. To wit, purchase of property in Man Valley.
Just for the council and the public, we do expect that you'll come back into open session and then you may act on an item.
Yep, and I'll take a motion on that.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion, we move into closed session.
Second.
Christie, can we have a roll call, please?
Start with Ms. O'D.
Aye.
Downing.
Aye.
Morissette.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Carroll.
Aye.
Bierstead.
Aye.
Plunkett.
Aye.
Thank you.
Should be.
Mayor, can we take 5? Is that okay with you? Okay.